game is like a symphony where its individual parts are okay, but as they all come together towards the end, it's really good. I wouldn't say really good. I think this game, the gameplay is still fairly repetitive overall. It just feels significantly better now. Yo, I've never seen Tidal Wave before. That's sick. Please don't ever do that again. How long am I stunned for? I started to compliment the game just slightly, and then the game was immediately like, hey, how do I convince him that this game actually blows? That was a little ridiculous. It's been a while since I played, but I do not remember that killing you. That's really dumb. Yeah, like, I don't mind walking into an area where, like, you take damage because it's, like, super cold or super hot or something. Like, that's not an inherently bad thing in video games. But, it is, like, super lame that it can kill you and give you a game over when you're not even in combat. That's pretty stupid. Pretty dumb. I heard the 3DS eShop is shutting down late next month, so a few games I need to get before it goes down. Yeah, I actually saw that trending the other day, and no joke, I immediately went online and bought Persona Q and Persona Q2. I don't plan on playing Persona Q or Q2, like, anytime soon. I got too many other games to play at the moment, and, like, Persona 4 Ultimax is coming out soon, and I still need to do Persona 4 Dancing. Like, I'm gonna do those first. But I think I'll probably end up playing at least Q, like the first one, later on this year. So when I saw that, like, hey, the shop's closing down, which means everything is gonna start getting, like, more expensive because you can't get it any other way, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and buy Q and Q2 before they end up costing, like, $100 a pop. So I got them both for, like, I think Q2 was, like, 40 bucks and Q was, like, 30 bucks. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, I'll do that. I'm not sure if there are really any other games I need to buy. I should probably get the Metroid Prime games. Because, those are on Wii, right? And I have my Wii U. I should probably look at buying those really quickly, because I know I want to play them on the channel at some point. I wonder if there are any of the 2D Metroids that it's like, hey, you need to get these ASAP. I might ask Michael about that. He'd probably know. Alright, I have no idea what I'm doing in this room, by the way. Like, I have no idea how to get through here. Is magic in this game unlocked by level up or bought in towns? Arch getting magic is by spell books, which you can find or purchase. Some of them you buy, some of them you just find in chests and stuff. Mint gets spells by level up, Cress gets arts by level up, Clarth gets summonings by going through dungeons and finding spirits at the end of them that he makes pacts with. That's how all the different characters get their skills. I really thought I had this when I was like, oh, there's like a cold breeze coming through here, so just like put the statue here and it stops it. Like, I really thought I was onto something. I really have no idea what else to do. Dude, I love Beast. Yeah, I also thought the statue idea was, like, for sure gonna work. I'm still kind of shocked that it didn't. I did not mean to get on the other side of the ninja, but whatever. Arch, do you mind? I'm swinging my lightsaber right now. Wow! Kill Stealer. Getting back that experience I lost from that stupid ice death. So, like, let me see this again. I wonder what this hole's for. There's no way I'll be able to fit through, but what's with the strong draft coming from it? Am I stupid? I feel like this is the easiest solution of all time. Just put the statue there. Like, what else is this statue gonna do? Now I can't even interact with it. I gotta really watch my health to make sure I don't suddenly die. Okay, that opened a door over there. Was earlier when I tried to light that, was it not lit because the wind was putting it out, and now, like, because I put the statue there, I'm able to keep this lit? Oh, no, okay, that is what happened. Okay, now I get it. I would have been able to figure that out. I would have noticed that the candles weren't lit if I hadn't suddenly died to the stupid ice damage thing. I gotta go back and look at that miasma dungeon we did at the very start of the game. I'm like 99% certain. Do you take no damage? Are you taking no damage? Hello? Die? I'm like 99% certain that in the miasma dungeon, you just take no like, you take damage, but when you get to 1 HP, you just sit there. Like, it can't kill you. But for some reason in this dungeon, they were like, hey, what if we make it where, like, you just frigging die? Which is bad. I hate it. Chester became a sniper. He hasn't been doing crap, like, since we got him back. Okay, we're good. We're good. Which Digimon game is better to stream? Digimon World Next Order or Digimon Cyber Sleuth? Are you asking my opinion on which one I think someone else should stream? Or are you asking which one I had a better experience streaming with personally? Both? In terms of, like, for someone else to stream, I mean, the legit answer is like cookie cutter, like, well, duh. The answer is, it's whichever one you prefer. If you have to pick between the two, I mean, I would, like, if you're a Digimon fan, I would stream them both. Unless you really dislike one of them for some reason. You don't like Next Order's gameplay or something. But, like, for someone else, purely just whichever one you enjoy more. And ideally, like, you know, play one then play the other. In my experience, both are good. Greatly enjoyable games. Cyber Sleuth was a better experience streaming, not because Hacker's Memory, specifically, I don't know if you're talking about both Cyber Sleuths in general or just the first Cyber Sleuth, but Hacker's Memory obviously is my favorite Digimon game, but purely because Next Order, there is a contingent of some people that will show up and try and tell you how to play the game, and whenever something frustrates you, or you're like, oh, this game mechanic I think could have been done better, they'll immediately say like, well, no, you just play wrong. And it's really, really annoying. So, I experienced that when playing Next Order. I was, any time in Next Order where I tried to, like, speed it up, because, like, especially when you're commentating over a game, you've got to, like, keep it flowing. You don't want to get stuck in, like, a really tedious, repeating cycle, which happens in Next Order a lot. So sometimes I would go try and do, like, the normal training, because it's, like, not optimal, but it would speed it up and make it go a bit faster. So I'd be like, this is better from a playthrough perspective to get the game rolling again so that the people watching are entertained. And people would just come out of the woodwork and be like, you're stupid. You shouldn't be doing that. You should just go and fight the Seadramon for literally 40 minutes straight and do nothing else. If you do anything else, you're a fool. And I was just like, hey, dude, this works well enough. I'm still going to beat the game, and I think it's just the better way to go about it for my situation. So, in that respect, I would say Cyber Sleuth is better, because you're less likely to run into someone like the people who play Next Order who think you need to play the game exactly as they believe it should be played. Oh no, what kind of maze nonsense is this? Oh dear. What the heck is going on here? This dude really came at me with a club, and he's like, yeah, I'll be able to beat the dude with a lightsaber. What kind of absolute buffoon thinks he's gonna get the dub here? Dead. Woo! Yo, that jumping attack is like 1600. That is insane. The Force is with me, you're right. Okay, those guys are worth, like, no experience. Duly noted. Not worth my time. Gotta make sure we watch our HP. Okay, so I made it to a dead end. Okay, Mint is doing great on TP. Oh, Nurse only costs 13? I thought Nurse cost 20. Oh, so she actually gets, like... She gets, like, 19 TP at the end of a fight? So she gets like a nurse and a half at the end of every fight from TP and stuff. That's insane. Not to insult appearance or anything, but that enemy didn't look like thinking was a strong suit. Joke's on you, he went to Harvard. And then immediately got expelled. But still, you make a good point. Nothing to interact with here? Okay, so that's... I guess I hit a dead end. Everything looks the same, so this is gonna get really difficult to tell where I'm going really fast. Does playing this Tales game make you excited about the next one in the series? Define next one in the series. Do you mean whatever game comes after Tales of Arise? Or do you mean Tales of Destiny, which is the second game in the franchise, and I'm currently playing the first? I'm excited for the next Tales of game to, like, be made. Like, what is Arise? Is Arise the, 17th? Or the 18th? Zestiria was 15, right? Yeah. Kazilia is 13, so... Arise was 17. The 18th game in the series, the next one coming out, purely because of Arise and Berseria, I am insanely excited for. I can't wait to see where they take the Tales of franchise next, because the last two games they made were two of the best in the entire franchise. Like, those Berseria and Arise are both in my top 5 Tales of games. Arise is in, like, my top 5 games of all time. Like, I can't wait for the next game. What comes after Tales of Phantasia? No, it doesn't really make me excited for it. Tales of Phantasia is, like... Other than that portion of the game with, like, the flying Pegasus fight and then Deus's castle and stuff, that part of the game really sucked. Like, that was a super low part of the game. The rest of the game has been fine. Like, I haven't, like, loved it. I haven't hated it. But, like, I wouldn't say I'm excited to play the other 2D Tales of games after having played this game. But I'm also not, like, dreading it. I'm interested to see how the other games are, and I'm really interested, honestly, to see, like, how Tales of Destiny, like, improves upon Phantasia. Or if it literally just plays, like, the exact same way. I don't really see how they could change up this 2D combat in any satisfying manner. Whereas the 3D Tales of games, pretty much all of them have, like, unique differences that are all pretty, like, that all make them, distinct from one another, despite all being 3D real-time action games. I've yet to experience a bad Tales game other than Dawn of the New World. Oh, that's a spin-off game, though. Zestiria was okay? Zestaria's gameplay was good and its music was great, but even Zestaria's gameplay isn't enough to make me consider it good, because me, personally, the Tales of franchise, like, what most of the Tale... Oh, hey, Arch got Tidal Wave. We just saw that earlier. But, anyways, for me personally, the thing I love most about the Tales of franchise, obviously I love the gameplay as well. Like, a lot of the games are fun to play, which is great. But, like, the thing I love most about the Tales of franchise is the characters they build up and the storylines they tell. And Zestaria's story, I wouldn't even consider it a story. Like, Zestiria is an absolute mess of nonsense the whole way through. And none of the characters are really that good other than Zavid. Edna was neat. But Edna and Zavid were not good enough characters to carry the rest of that lackluster cast. If you're playing Destiny, I recommend the recently translated PS2 remake. Yeah, I'll play whatever's most recent and translated when I get around to it. I'm definitely not going to play Destiny right after this. I'm playing Graces after this. I want to redo my Graces playthrough because it's been so long. Plus, I don't want to play back-to-back 2D Tales of games. I feel like that'll make me start to hate them, and I don't want to do that to myself. Or to the games, really. That'd be unfair to the games to play the 2D ones nonstop back-to-back if I'm not, like, super into that gameplay style. I'm starting to think that I need to find something in the center. Go away, ice golems. These guys are worth a lot of experience. But, anyways, Zestiria, I would consider, like, the best way I could phrase Zestiria is saying it was subpar. But really, it was bad. Like, the story and characters in that game were so abysmal. The only thing that saves it is it has some of the best music in the franchise, and the gameplay was fun. Like, it does have some of the best gameplay. But for me personally, when I'm playing a Tales of game, I'm mostly looking for, like, really good characters that I love and, like, can really empathize with, I guess. And then, a really compelling storyline, and Zestiria is so insanely bad at both of those things. It's, like, actually insane how much of a letdown it is in that respect. Okay, so this is where I entered from. I think I went all the way around the corners, so that must mean that however I proceed in this level must be in the center somewhere. I need to get to the top again, and then work my way down the middle. The game that had Lloyd in it was Symphonia. That's the 5th in the series. It was the first 3D game. But anyways, and then also, I know we just disagree on this, Nova, but I think Tales of Vesperia is an awful game. Honestly, Tales of Vesperia might be the worst Tales of game I've ever played. I know that's a spicy take in the Tales of fan base. There are a lot of people who absolutely love Vesperia, but, like, it's quite possibly, like, the music isn't super memorable. There's only, like, 2 good characters in it. IMO, like 2 or 3 good characters in it, and even those characters aren't used to their full potential, and then the story is, like, the only Tales of game that might have a worse story than Vesperia is Zestiria. Is really bad, IMO. Ooh, I let my health get way too low. Thank goodness I didn't die. Yo, you gonna cast Nurse? Thank you. Will you stream the Persona series or Final Fantasy mainline games? I've already played all of the mainline Persona games that aren't 1 and 2, because I have no interest in Persona 1 and 2. But I've already done playthroughs of Persona 5, and I did Persona 5 the Royal, Persona 3, and Persona 4 Golden. And I'm actually working through the Persona spin-off games. I just recently did the dancing games. I'm going to do Persona 4 Arena Ultimax when it comes out, and I still need to do Persona 4 dancing. But, sorry, I have to think a minute, chat. Okay, I think I'm going straight down from here. I don't know what room I'm, like, looking for. I'm hoping that one of these screens just has a stairwell in it of some kind. My first Tales of game was Tales of the Abyss. That's a great first game. Abyss, honestly, used to be my second favorite. Arise usurped it, I think. But Abyss, third favorite Tales of game. That's another one I need to replay sometimes, but I want to replay Graces first because it's been longer since I played Graces compared to Abyss. But Abyss is chef's kiss. So good. There was something else a lot of stuff happening in chat. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with it all and answer everything. There was something else in chat that I saw someone asked a question that I wanted to answer. Oh, Final Fantasy mainline games. As of right now, I don't have any plans on going back and playing older Final Fantasy games. But I have played Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. At the moment, I don't have any plans to go play, like, FF13 or 10 or whatever. I think 10 is the one that Liam loves. I want to play 10 at some point, because Liam said it's, like, one of his favorite games of all time. And Liam and I have some overlap on games that we like. There are a couple of games that I'm a huge fan of that Liam also really likes. There are also some games that Liam's opinions game-wise that I don't agree with, so, you know. I don't expect Final Fantasy 10. I think it was 10 was one of the ones he liked. Whichever one had Tidus and Waka in it. I think that's 10. But, I don't expect, like, oh, Liam liked it, that must mean I'll love it. But I think it's worth me trying sometime. So, I want to get around to trying that at some point. But as of right now, I don't have any plans on going and playing older Final Fantasy games, but I do plan on playing every new one from here on. Like, I'm really excited for FF16. When that comes out, I'll be playing FF16, like, day of release, whenever they give us a time on that. KS, if you could only choose 4 Tales of games to be in a new Warriors game, which ones and which characters would you choose? Oh, I gotta pick the characters and the games? I'm gonna go ahead and say that, I'm gonna make your question a little easier on me. That I'm just gonna pick 4 games, and then if at that point I would want, like, every main character. Oh, I found it! Let's go! I would want every main character from that game, and maybe some of the villains to be in it. And my picks would just be my favorite Tales of games, which would be, I would choose Xillia, Abyss, Arise, and Berseria. I'd want all of the main casts from all of those games to be in it, for sure. And probably some of the villains or some of the... In Xillia's case, I'd want Muse and Gaius to be like... from Xillia, you can pull from Xillia too, I guess. Like, bring in Luger too, why not? I don't really care about Luger. But, like, Gaius and Muse were supposed to be playable characters in Xillia, but they didn't have time to do it, so they were playable characters in Xillia 2 instead. So I'd want Gaius and Muse to be playable characters. Tales of Symphonia was my first Tales of game. It was my first Tales of game as well. Symphonia was actually Jet's favorite game. She played Symphonia when she was younger, and she had talked to me about it once, way back in the day, and then they had that PS3 remaster, or whatever, of the two Symphonia games, and I saw it at GameStop once. I remember Jet talking about it, so I was like, you know what, yeah, I'll try it out. And then I played it blind on the channel. And I liked it, so I was like, oh, dude, you know what? Are there any more of these? And I went back to GameStop, and they had Graces and Xillia there, so I was like, yo, I'll take those too. FF10 is the Titus Waka one? Yeah. If I were ever to go back, and I'm sure I will at some point, honestly, whenever I decide that I want to play some of the older Final Fantasy games, I think Final Fantasy X is going to be, like, the very first one I do. Final Fantasy X, like, it's not on my radar right now. I wouldn't even expect me to play that game this year. But it's definitely, like, it's somewhere, it's on a list somewhere of, like, hey, game for Chaos to play when he needs a JRPG that he can play blind that he's never played before. FF10 will be that game. So one day. Oh, I couldn't get to that other one in time. No, that hit me. That's not good. I hate when the priestesses start on the opposite side of me. Oh my goodness, that did so much. Clark immediately life bottle me. No, you gotta die. You gotta die. Get out of here. Go away. Is Final Fantasy 13, like, is it good? I feel like I never hear Final Fantasy 13 being talked about. I know 14 is the MMO, and I'm not really interested in getting into an MMO. That's way too much of a commitment for me to really experience fully. Oh, I forgot to get Arch up. That's fine, those priestesses give, like, no experience.